right, everybody, it is the Buzz About East Brunswick, episode 23. The mayor himself, Mayor Cohen. I'm Greg T. What's up, Mayor?
How are you?
I'm doing well. How about yourself?
We both go to the same closet today and find a check pattern.
We had to have checks. That's right. I said to myself, I'm like, he's coming prepared. He's gonna be wearing checkers. I gotta wear some checkers. That's right. We are the checkered crew. The duo.
It was a last minute, decision day decision.
I tell you, like I was saying, I get up at 3 o'clock in the morning. I go into that closet and I just grab the first thing. So I grabbed the shirt, just said, looks great. Put my black jeans on and roll.
I started out thinking that, I'm going to put on this blue shirt because I like blue.
Yeah.
And then I realized, I don't know, I am colorblind, but now that it's lighter, it looks kind of more purple, but then you told me there's blue in it.
Yeah.
I totally don't see that.
First things first, I didn't know that you were colorblind. I had no idea whatsoever. So when you were asking me what color that was, I thought you were kidding with me. I'm like, no, that's a navy blue. You have purple, navy blue, purple, navy blue. So I had no idea. That is fascinating.
No, I didn't. And you said that was
navy blue.
But that looks kind of purple to me, but I can't really tell. It's a recessive gene.
So this navy blue that is clearly navy blue, that looks purple to you, and the purple lines are still purple.
Yeah, just to me looks like a darker or lighter purple.
Wow, that is that I. You know what? I won't. Listen. I don't have very many friends that are colorblind. No, so this is a first for me.
They actually sell these glasses that you could wear that help you correct for colorblindness. They sell it. So my daughter got me a pair, which I totally lost, which I feel terrible about. But for the first time in my life, and she's colorblind too, by the way, which is even more rare.
So is it hereditary?
Yeah.
It is.
It's a recessive gene, but it's on the but the problem is that in order for a girl to have it, it means that the father had to be colorblind and the mother is a carrier, because that's the only way for a girl to be colorblind.
Okay.
So she unfortunately got worst of both genes. But she got me these glasses because it didn't fit her face well. She actually had bought them for herself.
Okay.
And I, for the first time, was actually able to look out and see cars that when there's darker shades, I can't tell the difference if it's like a dark green or a burgundy or a dark blue, like a midnight blue, black, brown. They all look the same to me.
Really?
And then I put the glasses on and I was like, the first time in my life I was able to actually tell the difference. It was amazing.
Fascinating.
And then I lost the glasses.
So what is your dominant color that you can always clearly see? Is there one? Is that how it works?
For me, it's those tests that you used to have to take where you have to see the color in the middle of that circle? I mean, the number in the middle of that circle.
Okay.
A whole bunch of dots with different colors.
Oh, yeah. Right? I do remember those. Okay, yes.
No, I've never been able to see a number in any of those, ever.
Wow.
So it's often when colors look similar to one another, it's hard for me to make the difference. If there's a obvious contrasting colors, I can tell that.
Gotcha.
Like I could see that your shirt, that's blue, right?
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Just check
no, it's a navy blue with white. That's right.
That's obviously a pretty big contrast. But when the colors start looking very similar to me, they all look the same. So sometimes I'll wear two things that have blue in it, and my wife will say, "Oh, those two don't really go together." And to me, I could never tell that.
Wow. Right. So somebody has to actually see what you're wearing and tell you whether it's, yay or nay.
Right. And as it gets darker, which I think for everybody, it's kind of hard to tell the difference because now you don't have light to help you. So when darker colors all, to me, just look...
They blend.
Dark. They look...
Right.
They can't tell you what it is.
Huh. This episode 23, and look at what we're learning about. It only took 23 episodes to learn about.
It hasn't held me back with anything. I guess I could never be a fighter pilot. Maybe that they won't let me ever do, which wasn't really anything that I wanted to do anyway. But
you're good there.
I truly appreciate those that can do it.
Right.
It wouldn't be me.
Right.
I don't know if it's really held me back.
Fascinating. Absolutely. Wow, listen. Hey, all right, so there we go. Episode 23. You just learned something with all of us.
Colorblind.
That is really something. Hey, how about the Devils last night? Big win. I know you're a big Devils fan.
I know. It was nice to see them win because they are really working on fumes right now. They've got mostly fill-ins for their regular team.
Yeah, no, a lot of injuries.
Yeah. So it was nice to see and beat a decent team.
Right, yeah, the Vegas Knights.
Yeah. So that's good. Hopefully that's a sign of things to come. We start getting people back from their injuries and actually play like they were playing the beginning.
Oh my God! In the beginning, were they not on fire? Like seriously, every single team they were beating. It was crazy in the very beginning, and you thought for sure, like, oh my God, this is gonna be this year. But it's a long season, and there's a lot of injuries that pile up.
I feel kind of bad because I told you a while ago, we had these people that are stand on the platform right behind where our seats are.
Yeah.
They're usually the people with the rah stuff and everything, and the guy that was doing it would say most ridiculous things like, "Oh, we're on our way to the cup," which of us who, like I told you before, are really big season ticket holders. Like, you never say that.
Right, you said that, yeah.
Well, anyway, I think that the people in the stadium caught on. So now they've actually moved them out of there. It's all equipment people.
Somebody's listening to the podcast. That's what it is. And they're saying, get them out of here. Get them out of here. Wow.
You got serious people there.
Right. I get it. And like I said, it's a long season. Injuries are going to happen. And get the Hughes brothers back,
in every sport, right?
Yep,
so you have a team doing really well, and all of a sudden they're hit with injuries, and then boom, they kind of fall behind. But hopefully as the team gets out of those injuries and they're back into playing form, that the team will get back to where they were.
Talking some hockey, how's the East Brunswick ice hockey arena going?
It's really coming along. I mean, now they're really doing more finishing touches.
Yeah.
So it's exciting to watch because every time you go in there, it significantly looks different than the day before.
Yeah, so yesterday I went over and I walked around because I guess, now we're getting ready to open it up for advertisers.
Right.
So I was there yesterday doing a walk.
By the way, they've actually already sold a good number of spots on the board.
Oh, tell me all about that. I didn't know. Tell me all about it.
Look, I mean, obviously, most sports arenas, you see lots of areas that are being sold for advertisers. So all the boards are used for advertisers. They've gotten a bunch already committed.
Fantastic.
The Zambonis are literally on, I think, the train on their way here.
So they're on their way, right?
They're on their way here.
You cannot have an ice hockey rink with no Zamboni. You can't do it, right?
But we'll clearly, obviously, have advertising on that as well.
Wrapped.
I mean,
of course. I figured so.
Right. Some of the walls, the scoreboards. So there's opportunities for us to make a good amount of money just on advertising.
And that was also the part of the plan as well, is that you were going to build something that was going to pay itself off as well, which is great.
Ice time, concessions, all of that makes an area that there's multiple places for them to get back the costs.
Yeah, it really came out. It looks beautiful. It really does.
No, I think that the DMR, which was our architect, and our staff, Keith Kipp and Mike Reisner, and all of their staff have done a phenomenal job. I'm fully expecting that when it's done, there will be some either architecture or engineering awards that go to it, because that really is a very unique design. They've executed it well. They put some really nice features in it that make it stand out, and I think it's going to be a hit.
Yeah, I was walking around yesterday, upstairs and downstairs, taking it all in, trying to see exactly where a lot of the advertising is going to go to. I met with Ed Seeley over at the rink yesterday, and he gave me a little walkthrough as well, and he was explaining how even some of the advertisings will hang from the rafters up top, which is really nice. And he explained, of course, how the boards are. So yeah, it was a great walkthrough, and it really, true to fashion, or true to what everybody was saying, is that the progress with the ice rink was steady. It was great. It never faltered. You're right on target for the opening day. What you thought it was.
Right on target. In fact, under budget, which is something in government you almost never hear of.
Right. And that's true. That's true.
And we really did it right. I think that it really holds to the values and to the way in which we do anything here in the township. When we do it right.
No, you did a great job.
A water park, we did it right. I mean, really have people coming from all around the state, out of state actually, to use that facility in the summer. They really, really do it top notch. They don't skimp. And the same thing is with this. It's going to stand out amongst the competition.
Yeah, no. Even from the outside, it's got a really nice, cool look to it. I love how the EB logo is sat there prominent on the wall on the outside of the. It just everything about it looks really nice. It looks clean. It has a really nice, good vibe to it. I'm excited for it.
No, thanks. It's funny. You got some Facebook people out there that sometimes people have nothing better to do but to try to find fault.
Yeah, well, everybody can do that. But
somebody wrote something about there being the name on the back of the building and thought it was so stupid that the name of the building is right by the Lowe's. but maybe you should have waited 5 seconds because
Right.
the name's going to be around different sides of the building. It's not just going to, they did that one first.
Gotcha.
But maybe you should have like held your breath 5
Right.
seconds before you hit send.
But that's the
because
world
now
we're
you
living
sound
in.
like an idiot.
Right, but God forbid people do that. Nobody's going to do that these days. They immediately react. They immediately want to take it right to Facebook. They want to put their opinion out there. And but yeah, no.
And now actually a difference as opposed to people in the past which would say things, but you don't know where it came from. Now actually you have your, it's under your name. We know exactly who you are.
That's true. That's right. You can't hide anymore. But haters are going to be haters no matter what it is.
Yeah.
But
no, we move on.
Yeah, I just think like there's no way possible you can look at it and say, oh, this thing's ugly or it's unnecessary. It really came out great. So congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah, hats off to you. And we're getting ready for the big grand opening.
That'll be the next place we do something in person.
Oh,
right?
that's our next live podcast should be from the arena.
So you asked me what we'll do next. That
I like
be the
it.
next one.
Great idea. Great idea. I love that. All right, so listen, guys, we are just getting things started here. We have so much to accomplish this afternoon with the podcast. We're going to talk a little bit about what's going on at the Brunswick Square Mall. I guess it's time to really get into that, isn't it?
Yeah, and I think a lot of people have asked, even despite the interest of people living here, almost everywhere I go outside of the area, that's seems to be a big topic of conversation. So we'll tackle that.
So it's time to address that. Yeah. So we'll get to that. And like I said, it is our last show of the year. So maybe we'll talk about things that we're looking forward to for 2026, and we'll see where it goes.
Get champagne and everything.
Oh my! What is wrong here? We should have had champagne.
It's definitely not this. This is my cold water again in my cold room. There's something they're trying to tell me something.
It was so funny being at Winter Wonderland when you addressed that we had cold water sitting outside being cold instead of cocoa inside it. It was really just a funny organic moment that we had. It was great. It really was. We've had a lot of fun, getting to know you getting to know you better. I think we've had a lot more fun here doing this podcast. It's been great. It really has been a good time. And the audience seems to like it as well. So there you go. So the proof is in the pudding.
To 2026.
That's true. All right, guys, we're going to take a step down now. Let's take a look inside and around East Brunswick. And when we get back, we're going to talk a lot about what's going on at the Brunswick Square Mall. This is the Buzz About East Brunswick. Attention East Brunswick, the snow has fallen, which means it's time to clear the sidewalks of snow. To all East Brunswick property owners, you are required to clear snow and ice from their sidewalk. The Township of East Brunswick does not clean or remove snow or ice off your sidewalks in front of residential or commercial property. You do have 12 hours from first daylight to have all snow removed from the sidewalk. Let's help keep East Brunswick safe. All right, you want to know what's going on with Vermella? I'm with Frank Antisel. He's the township engineer here in East Brunswick. He's going to give us a tour and find out how phase 1, 2, and 3 is going on here at Vermella.
The first floor, we have retail and restaurants, and on the second, third, and fourth floors is the residential units. Here at the Vermella Phase 1, we have the glass being installed in the windows, along with the siding that's starting to go up. Some of the landscaping features we have is we have some brick pavers, along with our landscaping, our trees, and the shrubs. They're all being put in.
The entrance for Marie Teen is now completed. So now, as soon as they open these fences, you'll be able to drive right on in from Marie Teen right to Vermella Phase 1. Sitting outside on the back patio, relaxing, kicking back, right here at the Vermella. We're about 3 months away from actual occupants moving in. The Vermella is really coming along. Piece by piece, it's all happening right here in front of your very own eyes. Phase 1 of the Vermella coming along right on target. All right, guys, then we are back. The buzz about East Brunswick. And again, hats off to you if you're watching us on YouTube at EBTV26. If you're on Instagram at BuzzAboutEB, Spotify, iHeart, Apple Music, Amazon, all of them. Thank you guys very much for tuning in for episode 23. So the moment that I know that I've been waiting for, as well as so many other people, everybody has their own idea of what's happening with the Brunswick Square Mall. I remember going out doing the segment that I do on the street, ask the mayor anything.
Right.
One of the last ones, I spoke to a woman, and she had just felt as if, the world was ending and that they were going to just knock down the entire mall, and then that was the end of it. And she even said she wanted to see an expansion of the mall, which to me, I didn't say anything then, but I was saying to myself, people aren't going to the mall right now. When you expand it, who else? Nobody's going. So let's finally put everything to rest. And I leave it for you now, Mr. Mayor, to tell everybody about what exactly is happening. Go ahead.
I think that the prelude, or to set the table to what's going on the mall, you also have to recognize that there's been a overarching vision of what's going on Route 18 in general.
Correct.
Right? The mall is part of a larger picture. And while it's a staple that's been there for half a century, it's part of our whole plan for redeveloping and redesigning a corridor that has always been an important source of revenue to the township. Right? There's all those individuals pay taxes, and it's part of our tax base, our retail tax base. And to the extent that that gets decimated, residents have to pick up the difference in property taxes. So to the extent that we can keep that corridor producing, being active, working towards the type of retail that works in 2025, and then contributes back to the economy, it helps all of us. It is a business corridor.
I get it.
People that tell me that they wanted to go back to the parks that it was 50, 60 years, that's not going to happen.
No, it's not.
So it's a business corridor. We want to keep it that way. People that tell me they don't want traffic there, I'm like, of course, nobody wants to sit in traffic. The work that's being done on Route 18 right now is being done because Route 18 needs to be done.
That's right.
They did it in New Brunswick for years. They did it in Old Bridge for a while. This is our turn. People wanted for us to get to our section of Route 18, so they're doing it now.
And I also recall in several of our earlier episodes when we were describing Route 18 and what it was once, when we were kids, when we were younger, how it was that corridor where all the big stores were there, and that's how you envisioned it, or that's how you remembered it. And then all of a sudden those big box retailers left, and it was time to really do something. And I have been saying to some people, what would you want to do with the decrepit malls that were left behind?
Right. And
you had to do something.
People have lost track of the fact that that's what it looked like most recently.
That's right.
I love the walk down memory lane that everybody gives me of what used to be there. But the fact is that that's not there now.
No.
And not only is it not there now, but it's fallen into disrepair.
Correct.
And so the picture of what's going on the mall has to be taken in the full context of what's going on Route 18. Some of the nicer things that we're going to get into the mall are only coming because, one, we're investing in that highway. They see what's happened on the north end of the highway and the type of retail and the type of residential units that are being put there and the income requirements that those people are going to need to be able to even afford those apartments mixed in with what's around here. So
I agree. I see your point, and you're right, because other retailers now are starting to see the progression of what's happening in East Brunswick. They're interested in doing something.
So the nicer retailers that are now actually thinking about coming here are only doing it because they're seeing what else.
The revitalization. Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So that's the context in which it's happening. If we could bookend both of ends of the highway with nicer retail and nicer quality retail, it forces the competition among the rest of the highway to up their game as well.
That's right. Everybody wants to.
Right. And we don't need to offer them incentives to do that. The incentive is going to be the market.
Right. No, you want to stay in tune with what everybody else is doing. Keeping up with the Joneses. I got you.
That's it. So the mall has primarily about 100 acres of property. It's primarily owned by 3 people, JCPenney's, Macy's, and the mall itself. The mall is about 40%. And JCPenney's and Macy's are about
It's a huge piece of property.
Huge piece of
property. It really
property.
is.
And it, again, harkens back to the time in which it was built when everybody was moving retail indoors into malls. That's what everybody wanted. And it's a massive concrete parking lot of asphalt parking lot.
But that's what you did in the 70s, 80s. That's what it was. That's what you did.
This time of year, you would drive by it and it would be completely filled.
That's right.
Right. That hasn't been that way in decades. Kids born today or kids graduating from high school today have never seen that.
That's right.
Right. So all of those people telling me about Farrell's and all these other stores that used to be there, I get it.
Oh my God.
But they're not there. And currently, up until the time that the mall owners decided to do something, there was about 75% of the people that were in the mall weren't even paying rent. And the rent rolls is what we use to base our taxes.
Okay.
So if they, which they just...
Oh, right. They have to pay taxes. I understand.
They're landowners.
Right. If they're not paying the taxes goes up. I understand. Okay, go ahead.
So
I'm
last month, the township literally had to write a check for $1 million back to just the mall.
Wow.
Not Penny's, not Macy's, because their rent rolls were not generating what we were basing our tax rates on.
It's a problem.
And every single year, you want to keep it that way for all those people that say save the mall stuff. Great. Be prepared to give me a check for $1 million every year to keep it that way.
Wow.
Which, of course, nobody wants to do.
No.
I'm not raising people's taxes to keep a mall empty.
I'm glad you said that, 'cause
the owner isn't going to continue to allow a property
Right.
that he is invested in to not generate a profit. He has every reason and entitled to do that. So he's reinvesting in the mall, and it's primarily going to stay retail, which is what it is.
Right.
That project that he's doing is private property.
Okay.
Long as he follows all of the zoning
Sure.
laws that the township requires, we cannot stop him, nor would we want to. Right? I want them to be
Right.
successful.
But you're right. But you're working together with them. You're working together hand in hand. Right.
But that has nothing to do with the overall redevelopment plan for the 100 acres of property that are there.
Okay.
So the mall itself, in its reinvesting, is clearly telling some of the tenants that were there, most of them, that they need to vacate. It's right to do that, especially if you're someone who wasn't even paying rent.
Right. Exactly. Right.
So he has every right to do that. And many of the retailers that are there will stay.
Okay.
Now, they may be moving to better space for them that's going to
Sure.
be
It
work
could be good
better.
for everybody. That's right.
The fact is that they're looking to make it more of an outdoor mall. Again, lots of Facebook comments about that. The reason it's going to be an outdoor mall is because the retailers want to be seen from the road.
I remember you said, right, people, you have no idea what's
It has
inside
nothing
some
to
of these,
do
right?
with
You
the
want-
township telling them to do something. I
Right.
can't tell them to do that.
No, it's natural. It's normal. I get it.
Even the owner of the property is
Right.
responding to what the retailers that everybody in the town say they want.
Exactly.
They want to be seen from the outside. The retail wants to be on the outside. They want to be seen from the road. So the vision that the owner has is to have more of the entertainment venues towards the back of the property and more of the retail towards the front.
I gotcha.
and-
it's going to be really pretty.
It's going to be much nicer.
Yes, it is.
So Nordstrom Rack is one that's coming.
Wow, there you go. Wait, don't gloss over that. So that's terrific. Nordstrom Rack is a beautiful store.
It's a great store. It's a
That's
higher
great.
end retail that
Yeah.
people have been asking for. J. Crew, another one.
Wow, we never had a J. Crew here.
So
that's
these are-
great.
And again, they're
Congratulations
only
on
coming.
those. Those are two huge. That's great.
PGA Pro Golf Store, so it's going to have all the
Oh,
high-end,
now we're talking.
golf equipment simulators, so that you could actually go in and visualize using the equipment, play games, and golf. Like many places have.
Yeah, right. It's very trendy right now. It really is. That's great.
Fun City is going to be another entertainment and recreation type of indoor park for mostly for kids.
Wait, that's huge news. Hold on, it's called Fun City. That is big news.
So yeah,
that's
they're
great.
taking a good amount of space, and then there's a lot of other new places scheduled to come, along with keeping some of the stores that have been there. So Barnes and Nobles is staying,
Right,
Bath
you're
and
not
Body
moving, right.
Works is staying, Lens Crafters is staying, the AMC movie theater is staying, and there's been a press release with more that I'm not going to be able to remember every one, but many of them are staying. Some of the ones that couldn't survive are not going to stay, and they may either find other locations in the township. We have an economic development officer, more than happy if they want to stay in East Brunswick for us to find them space.
Oh, that's great.
And at the end, the work is going to be designed to make the outside of it look a lot more,
Right.
consistent with the type of retail we see today.
So my one question is, some of the stores that are staying, will they be getting an outdoor facade now? Is that how it's going to be? So then, okay, so if they're getting the outdoor facade, and if some of the other new stores are going to be facing Route 18 or where you can actually see them, so then what will be happening on the inside of the actual
So the
mall?
inside's going away. Right now, they have no intention of keeping an indoor space. What we're actually, as a township, thinking of doing is sitting down with the owner, trying to determine the exact amount of indoor space that will be there.
Okay.
And the township may actually work with the developer to develop indoor recreation space for use in the township. So indoor batting cages could be used both for baseball and for cricket. We may have field space, not a full field, but for sports such as soccer, lacrosse, field hockey, where they could do practices indoors, whether it's bad weather or brutally hot or cold where it is now.
Right, you can use the space there.
So you could use the space. We'll include an indoor track for those people who like going to the mall just for walking in the morning. A lot of people that are seniors like to go in. We would like to keep that inside, maybe an indoor basketball court, so that
like in Bell Labs. Have you been to Bell Labs in Homedale?
Right. I mean,
So
but that's hundreds of acres. We don't have that.
Okay.
So that's something we're thinking about doing with that indoor space, so that for those who are fearful that we're going to lose some of the walking space that people were utilizing the mall for before it would actually open up for its retail hours.
I think it's great.
We could still use it for that. We're talking about that, but I think that's a reasonable use of that space. And I think for most people, it'll actually help bring some volume of folks there to the mall to help even the retailers that are moving in. And vice versa.
Now, the movie theater that you mentioned, is that going to get an upgrade itself, or is that just going to stay status quo?
I think the movie theater is staying status quo. The AMC would have to determine if they want to do some upgrades themselves. But they recently did that.
But like we said, though, but why wouldn't a retailer want to upgrade? They're going to see what's going on around them. They're going to want to, make it really nice and new and modern.
And for instance, Barnes and
Barnes Noble,
they're probably going to not stay in the same space that they're in. They don't, frankly, need as much space as
not anymore.
So they'll be bumped back in so that the front of the whole space looks more flat as opposed to the way it is right now.
Okay, right. It bumps out into the parking lot.
Right. It actually makes for bad traffic flow. So there's a lot of reasons why they would want to be moved more as a flat surface.
So they're willing to give up some of their space right now that they have.
Exactly. Panera's is going to stay.
Okay.
Habit Burger is going to stay. So all of these things are going to serve as flagship stores and the new retail as well.
Right. The Olive Garden, is that staying?
Well, Olive Garden is separately owned, so that's so.
Oh, that has nothing to do with the mall.
No. Well, the plan for what we do at the entire 100-acre site, that's something that has not been determined yet. We are working with the owners.
There's a lot of rumors to that, though, of what's going on.
The owners of the mall, are negotiating for the purchase of pennies. That hasn't been decided yet. They might sell, they might not sell. I don't know the answer to that yet. So don't ask me what I don't know. Macy's has been sold.
Right. Okay, so that's sold.
Macy's is sold. Right now, the owner is having Macy's as a renter.
Oh, okay.
And they're renting through the middle of, I think the middle of 2027.
Okay.
So that at some point when the whole redevelopment plan for the whole 100-acre site has been completed, that's probably the time at which point we'll know what the future of Macy's is and they can actually start on that. But they don't want to have an empty store.
Okay, and I understand that.
Empty space.
But they also don't want to leave because they're hearing about all the revitalization that's happening there at the mall.
Well,
so that makes sense too.
Macy's at some point is going to leave.
They're completely leaving. Oh, they're not. So they're not even renting to possibly stay. They're renting now for the time being, but they're absolutely walking out.
At some point, they're going to leave. That building is going to need to be redone, and it's
completely.
It's got asbestos issues, and so
I see.
Any type of redevelopment is going to have to involve some major remediation. So that will ultimately have to come down and something in its place, and we don't know what the something is yet.
Gotcha.
Right. we have our own planner that's coming up with her vision of what the whole thing would look like. And the three owners,
Okay.
all are going to sit down. And as we finally come up to a conclusion of what the entire site would look like,
Right.
that's when we'll be able to present that to the public. I can't answer that right now because it's not been determined.
Okay.
But at some point, there will be some level of residential units there. We have a fourth round affordable.
So where are we talking about the units? Are we talking on the Mason
more
side?
towards the back.
Towards the back. Okay, gotcha. By
And
Firestone or whatever's back there. There's something automotive.
I don't know yet because we haven't, but it will have to accommodate that. And the overwhelming likelihood is that any type of residential space would be more towards the back because that's where residents would want to be. They're not going to want to be right out on the highway. And the retailers actually do. So that's pretty much something that nobody disagrees with.
Right. Okay.
That's a double negative.
No. Well, now the only thing that I'm envisioning is, and I don't know how if you've gone down that area, but in Eatontown, the Eatontown Mall, the same thing. It was getting eaten up by nobody going there. It was just completely empty.
Right.
So they are building, residents living like a condominium there.
Every single town in the state of New Jersey has affordable housing obligations, which are requiring them to do building.
Okay.
Right? I could spend all of your tax dollars in court fighting it. I will lose.
Okay, I got you. No, you've explained that before. Several episodes we talked about it.
Yeah. For all the complaints that people have, the governor's race. Governor actually has nothing to do with it either. It's a constitutional mandate. It's being forced on us by the judicial system, the Supreme Court of the state of New Jersey.
No, you've mentioned it many times. You have.
It didn't matter who won the governorship.
It has nothing to do with it. Gotcha.
Right. So stop talking about
it. Right. But you know how people like to tie those things in. Right? I get it.
We're going to have to do it. And so at some point, what our vision was for that was to try to put some level of housing for people with disabilities.
Which I think was a great idea.
Is a great idea.
Great idea. And I never even heard of that before. And I think it's a great idea.
There's other places who have done it. And I think that it's a wonderful opportunity for us to give people who have lived and can live somewhat semi-independent lives, have a place that they could walk to work, be able to get to public transportation. Hackensack Meridian is going to be renting space there as well.
Oh, really?
So there will be medical facilities.
Another one. That's great.
So all of that would actually lend itself really well to a place for folks that have those type of issues to be able to live a really good life and have their opportunities expanded, not contracted by the way the system works today.
Got you.
And so, again, it's the concept is for it to be a community. That has a livable walk space, community space.
But that is very trendy today. People are, that is the way things are getting designed like that now.
Exactly.
It's the outdoor living, like the Vermella, same exact situation. You're going to have some of those outdoor stores.
So
community
on the
living.
greater multiple choice test of life, not building it isn't one of the options.
Right.
So our goal is to try to build something that actually augments what we have in the township, try to get back things from the developers for the use for the public that would have ordinarily fallen on tax dollars. In return for doing something that we have to do anyway.
Right, gotcha.
And that is, I think that's the plan. Am I ready to show everybody what it looks like?
Right.
I'm more than happy to do that when I actually have it myself.
Gotcha. Right.
That is what we're working on right now. But what we're doing with the mall is the mall owner, 1/3 roughly, or maybe 40% of the retail space that's there is the mall.
Right.
And that owner is investing in upgrading his portion of the property.
Now, when will some of this...
Hopefully that will have something and merge in with what the ultimate redevelopment plan is for the entire parcel. But right now, it's a private owner of property reinvesting in his asset.
That sounds
and
good.
It's bringing in retail that we have
brand new, beautiful retail.
Asking.
Right. I like that a lot. That's great.
One of the things that they are seriously looking at because of that level of retail and because of the other stuff that's been done on the highway is now all of a sudden they're getting bites at the apple from the higher end grocers that everybody tells us they want here. now they
So-
actually are seriously looking at us.
So who is looking right now?
I can't say that.
Okay, that you can't go into.
But
okay.
but if anybody has been asking me when are we getting a Whole Foods, a Wegmans, a this, like those stores,
Right.
that's among the ones we're talking about.
Okay.
Those are higher end grocers, what they call specialty grocers. I won't tell you which one is looking.
Okay.
Have to tell you multiple of them.
Great.
Have been looking, and so this is how you get them.
It just sounds like everything really is starting to fall into place. Every single domino is working out with the way it is. I mean, just by starting all the construction on the far end, now you're working your way back up to this end here with the mall. Now, when will this construction begin?
On the mall?
Yes.
They've supposedly started this week.
Oh, really? So it's starting now.
So yeah, no, we don't play around.
Gotcha.
No, I mean, if I was the owner of a property like that isn't performing the way it should be, I would want to move on it as quickly
As
as
fast as you can.
possible
That's
as
right.
I can.
That's right.
As well. So it's in both of our interests. I do not want to keep giving him back
Right.
$1 million every year
Right.
of your, folks
Taxpayer
that
dollars,
work real
right?
hard of their tax dollars. In any 1 year that I've been mayor, I've never raised municipal taxes more than $360,000. This is $1 million.
Right, I got you.
Every year we keep it this way.
Right, and it can't stay like this.
Keep writing checks.
It's not sustainable.
It's not
No.
sustainable.
No, it's not. All right, well, there you go. This was incredible. You feel good? You got it off your chest. Now everybody knows.
It's not that it was
needed
a
to
big
come out.
hidden thing, but I can't ask a developer or an owner to release information until he has signed contracts.
Gotcha.
By releasing that information beforehand, by telling people so far ahead of times that where people are in the middle of negotiations can change the nature of those negotiations. So I can't.
Right,
Even though I want to, I think what we're looking at creating there is very exciting.
Oh, I think so too.
And it takes the mall and keeps it primarily retail, which is what everybody has wanted, and moves it into the 21st century.
Correct. I love it. I think it's great. It really does sound like it's right. It's moving in the right direction. And it is what everybody wants. And this is the new age that we're living in.
Exactly.
Nice job.
Thank you.
All right.
But it's not that at least at this particular junction, it's being driven by the owner of the property.
Correct.
And the retailers.
Right. This is not East Brunswick telling him what to do.
And the retailers telling them what they want.
Right.
They want to be seen from the outside. We didn't tell them
Right.
to turn it into this type of mall. The owner is going to do what his retailers want.
Right.
And if the
And we
higher
welcome
end
it.
retailers want that, that's what's going to happen. And I think that nobody could expect anything different.
No, it's great. All right, there you go.
There
you
you
heard
go.
it there. Mayor Cohen, nice job. Nice job, Mayor Cohen, on that one. I like that. Good job. All right, guys, we're going to take a quick break, and when we get back, we're going to wrap things up for our very last episode of 2025. We're going to take another look inside and around East Brunswick. This is an important message from East Brunswick and the East Brunswick Police Department. The East Brunswick Police Department has announced its transition from Civic Ready Platform to Everbridge, a leading emergency notification system designed to deliver faster, more reliable alerts to keep residents informed during critical situations. Follow a few quick and easy steps to get signed up or to continue in receiving East Brunswick emergency alerts. Simply log on to eastbrunswick.org. Scroll over to Public Safety. Scroll to the left and click on Emergency Alerts. After clicking on Emergency Alerts, you will enter the Emergency Alert System Everbridge. Scroll mid-page and click on either Community Alerts or Emergency Alerts or both. Once you click on Emergency Alerts, you'll be directed to get started and to set up a community profile. If you choose Community Alerts, you'll receive news and announcements from Parks and Rec, Waste and Recycling, Taxes and Utilities, and more. So build your community profile and stay informed of everything in and around East Brunswick. Good morning, Greg T here. About to show you how easy it is to go from East Brunswick Tower Center to New York City. Coach USA also offers 10-trip, 20-trip, and monthly passes that can easily be purchased online or in the app.
What's good about the commute is every 10 minutes to Port Authority,
Yeah.
Wall Street, or crosstown.
Oh,
We're
yeah?
at peak rush hour. So this is what people in East Brunswick look for, is
Right.
frequent buses to New York City.
Start ticker now. 40 minutes from East Brunswick to New York City.
It's easy to rest, relax, and even get some work done while commuting on Coach USA. 40 minutes from East Brunswick to New York City. For more information, go to CoachUSA.com. This is an East Brunswick snow removal alert. Whenever snow has fallen and accumulation is such that it covers the roadway, no vehicle shall be parked on the street, avenue, highway, or portion thereof in the township of East Brunswick. This ordinance remains in effect even after the snow has ceased until the streets have been plowed sufficiently. This is an East Brunswick snow removal alert. All right, ladies and gentlemen, getting ready to wrap things up here on the Buzz About East Brunswick. That was another look inside and around East Brunswick. So, Mr. Mayor, 2026 is right now just a couple of weeks away, and that does. So, what are you looking forward to in the new year for yourself? You know, personally, and of course, as the mayor.
Well, I mean, you do know that I put my name out there to run for Congress.
Congress,
so that's a
right.
2026 biggie.
So that's good.
So that's a biggie.
Yeah.
But I think in general, you got to be lucky and happy every year that you have good health. I think no matter what, we recognize that that's still the most important thing in life.
Yeah.
You often don't recognize it until something happens.
Correct.
So I as a physician, I see what could happen.
You're right. Right.
If I could keep my health, then anything else is,
Well, you look good now.
secondary.
You're looking great. Looking good, feeling great.
But you asked me out on a date.
Yeah, if you're available, I'm ready to go.
And I think that I want the best for my family and for folks that live here in town. I want all the plans that we've put in place to continue to pay dividends here to everybody here in the township. And for everybody that lives in the town, I wish them a really happy and healthy Christmas holiday, Hanukkah holiday, Kwanzaa, whatever you celebrate. Have it. And
How are the holidays going for you and your family?
Nice so far. Hanukkah for us isn't as big of a holiday as some of the other Jewish holidays, but it always gets magnified because it's just this time of year.
Yeah.
I just love this. We did the holiday light, party that we had here out at the township.
At the Winter Wonderland. Yeah, that was great.
It was just a true Hallmark card. You look at it this time of year, the snow went down the other day. I looked out the back window. I'm thinking, oh, man, that is so beautiful. I expect like a little deer to walk through the backyard, and it's going to I'll take a picture of that, and that's going to be my, card to send out to everybody. But so I do actually like this time of year. I love the change of seasons, but the holiday spirit is just
it's all
palpable.
around us. Yeah, of course. Right.
So I always love this time of year. It gets a little depressing when you get to January and February when it's cold and there's nothing really to look forward to.
Right.
Football's kind of over.
And, believe the local sports, forget about it.
But I have my hockey.
That's right. The Devils are still there, still in it. That's right. So we have something to look forward to.
And the rink is obviously something that we're looking forward to opening. Yeah. That's going to be a big deal, and we will make a big deal out of that.
That's great.
So I think we've got a lot of really good things to look for in the year. Like I said, if we do end up doing an indoor recreation center, that would be something. We're going to sit down, and I look forward to a much better, healthier relationship with our school systems so that we could really start to work together for the residents of the township. One of the other things people have asked about is what's the status of our pool?
Oh, yeah.
Because we got money from the state to help do an indoor pool. And our original plan was to do something over at the schools.
I completely forgot because that was one of the things we talked about in one of the earlier episodes is like people wanted to have some kind of a community pool there.
Yeah.
So
and our original plan was at school, but the old school board and the old administration made such a big deal about that. And so we abandoned it and ended up thinking about doing it over at Crystal Springs.
Right.
But then we realized that that's really only open up 2 months. You have
to build a bubble and things like that.
That would be kind of hard, and people might not want to go there. It's out of the way in the middle of the winter when, even though it would be open, it's not as easy to reach.
Right.
So I think more on this topic, and it makes more sense to sit down, which I intend to do with the schools, and relook at putting it at the schools. It's really something that should be shared between the township and the schools. A personal belief of mine, I don't think you should leave high school without ability to know how to swim.
No, listen.
To me, it's like times tables, knowing about history, knowing about U.S. government. You should know how to swim. It's a skill you should just have.
So that's something to think about for 2026.
For
Wow.
2026, or
Sounds like
maybe
busy.
planning that, it would probably not be implemented till 2027.
Okay.
But the plan, I think, is something we should do. I think it should be shared by the schools, and their teams should be able to utilize it.
Yeah, of course.
And when the school's not using it and the teams aren't using it, should be open to the town, and we should share that. And I think that makes far more sense to me, and it could be used, 12 months in the year.
Wow, how about that? Another amazing mark that happened here on episode 23.
Yeah,
Well,
a lot of good news.
Yeah, a lot of good stuff. It sounds like you're going to be really busy yourself, and just there's so much happening here in East Brunswick. There's so much to look forward to. I think that 2026 is going to be a very exciting year. I do agree. All right, well, listen, Mr. Mayor,
you
on
go.
behalf of myself, Greg T, Mr. Mayor here, Mayor Cohen, Happy New Year, happy
New Year.
holidays.
It's 25's in the books, and on to 26.
We're 23. We're on 24.
No,
25.
the
Year
year.
25. Oh, jeez. Right, year 25 and on to 26. You're right. So that does it for us, guys. That is it. That will do it for us here at the Buzz About East Brunswick. And yeah, listen, you know what? I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be an exciting 2026.
It's all good.
Yeah, it is.
All right.
All right, guys, we're out of here. Mr. Mayor, see you later. Happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
All right, guys, see you next year.